How to tie the strongest San Diego Jam Knot in the world. Episode 8, the San Diego Jam Knot. Can the knot with the best name also have the results to go with it? Grab a brew or a drink and join me as we unpack the results of this West Coast Tuna Knot and see how good it actually is. Now, assuming you've seen the pizza knot and how poorly that did, can this additional tuck at the beginning of the knot actually improve things that much? You're watching the world's strongest knot. I'm Warren, and today we're unpacking the San Diego Jam. Just a reminder, if you've not seen our how-to or our complete overview, just click right up here to see those, where we look at a good tip to help tie this knot when fishing off a boat. It makes it slightly easier for those who are tying a new knot. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, these are broad parameters we follow for the world's strongest knot. Number 1, remaining unbiased, no mention of line manufacturers. Number 2, testing knots in monofilament, in fluorocarbon and in braid. Number 3, testing knots in 5 different line weights: 10 pound, 30 pound, 50 pound, 80 pound and 100 pound. Number 4, all knots compared to the actual 100% line strength that we have measured, not the manufacturer's packaging label strength statement, etc, etc. Number 5, batch control on all lines, including retesting. If we get a new batch of lines in, we'll stick it on here and determine exactly how strong it is. Number 6, our results will be converted into percentages and compared against the main line, which will be the baseline or the maximum achievable strength for that particular knot. Number 7, we'll give you the exact amount of wraps used. Number 8, overall percentages for the knot for each line category, mono, fluoro and braid. Number 9, over 400 results were compared on this knot. Right, tip of the day. Each knot has a certain technique for securing the tag in. While most knots provide a single area to clamp the tag, some knots provide 2 areas for securing the tag. So if you're finding yourself with knots coming undone during use, you want to try out the San Diego Jam Knot. It provides a safety net at the start and at the end of the knot for the tag end. Although this knot is very similar to the pizza knot in every single way, can this tuck at the front end of the knot, which differentiates it, actually provide a remarkable increase in strength? We're going to find out today. Monofilament. How does the San Diego knot protect the standing end as it draws out the front end of the knot? Let's find out. Alright, 10 pound monofilament, 13.8 pounds actual measured line strength, 3 wraps and 90.22%. 30 pound monofilament line, 42.2 pounds actual measured line strength, 3 wraps and 83.74%. 50 pound monofilament line, 66.79 pounds, 3 wraps and 82.94%. 80 pound monofilament line, 103.53 pounds, 3 wraps and 68.52%. And lastly, 100 pound monofilament line, 117.96 pounds actual measured line strength, 3 wraps and 68.09%. Right, let's find out how this extra abrasion within braid is dealt with in the San Diego Jam Knot. 10 pound braided line, 21.7 pounds actual measured line strength, 8 wraps and 85.8%. 30 pound braided line, 32.16 pounds actual measured line strength, 8 wraps and 81.82%. 50 pound braided line, 55.05 pounds, 8 wraps and 70.74%. 80 pound braided line, 85.89 pounds, 8 wraps and 63.15%. And a 100 pound braided line, 93.74 pounds, 8 wraps and 65.37%. So on 100% fluorocarbon leader, let's see how this extra abrasion resistance within the fluorocarbon actually helps protect the standing end. 10 pound fluorocarbon line, 11.41 pounds actual measured line strength, 3 wraps and 86.17%. 30 pound fluorocarbon line, 27.59 pounds actual measured line strength, 3 wraps and 85.68%. 50 pound fluorocarbon line, 42.35 pounds actual measured line strength, 3 wraps and 81.71%. An 80 pound fluorocarbon line, 58.68 pounds, 3 wraps and 97.01%. Right, let's take a look at the leaderboard. I'm really excited to look at fluorocarbon. The results looked really good, didn't they? Amazing. Monofilament, how did this extra tuck with the inner movement of the knot do? Gosh, straight in at number 7. Now it's a reasonably good result. A big improvement on the Pitzer knot, a respectable 78.7%. I'll unpack my findings later on its performance. Right, let's take a look at Braid. 73.38%, nice. Seems like we've got a bit of a shift in the leaderboard. Considering how tough this line is on the thicker braided lines, it's also worth making a big mention of this, as we're 8 episodes in and it's very apparent how difficult and stiff the competition is on Braid. It really is like a hot knife through butter. And finally, fluorocarbon. 87.64%. That is incredible. Straight to second place. This is an impressive result. Really good. This line category is also really tough. It actually tests completely different aspects of a knot and how the line moves in the knot. So yes, a much improved Pitzer knot, especially on the fluoro side of things. So one thing is apparent in testing this knot in both braid and mono categories. The standing end is the shortfall of the knot. Although the tag end is very well secured, you will see from this example on monofilament how the knot, when it's tightened beyond hand strength, on this example of a 100-pound monofilament, you will see the line exit out the back end of the knot and get damaged as it draws out the knot. The line has a lot of rubbing at the front end of the knot through the twist, and as the standing end exits out the back end of the knot where the tag end wraps around, there's a lot of rubbing there also. All this damage is far too much for monofilament to cope with. However, on fluorocarbon, the line is actually capable of withstanding this pressure as it copes vastly better with this rubbing effect. Whereas on braid, it ends up having a similar problem as monofilament, hence it gets destroyed very quickly. What would really be interesting here is if we incorporated the lipsole trick as we did with the Palomar knot in our lubrication video. Right, let's see if I can sum up this episode. The lesson learned today was the San Diego Jam Knot is a really good knot for fluorocarbon. This is why it's such a popular choice for many fishermen when tying their leader material, as I'm yet to meet a fisherman today who does not choose to use fluorocarbon as their go-to leader material. So I'm guessing the Padres are going to be really happy with this result. You're watching the world's strongest knot. I'm Warren. Join us for a brew on the next video if you're staying along this evening or today, whenever you're watching the video. Please like, please subscribe, please check out our website. We've got some fantastic photographs of the San Diego Jam Knot on there. Check them out. Right, let's do a little waffle session here. What's coming up next? Line to line connections. We're going to take a little bit of a U-turn on the old terminal knots, see if we can leave them standing there for a little bit longer and crack on with the line to line connections. We've got a lot of knots now that new beginner fishermen could have a look at and sort of get a good grounding on. Line to line connections. Going to go straight in with the simplest of simple ones, the surgeon knot. What a fantastic, easy peasy line to line connection. We'll be checking that out very shortly. Hope you enjoy the content, and I'm enjoying doing these shows. I really am having a great time learning stuff every day on this machine, getting loads of testing done. Enjoyed the lubrication video, that was great. Interesting actually as well that, I mean gosh, adding Lipsil to a Palomar, bang, it's like up 15%. I mean, who would have thought? That knot is just, it is really good on thin lines. On the thicker lines it does struggle, but add a bit of Lipsil and bang, you're away. You got, like I say, 15-40% increase in strength. Incredible. And that was an overall result as well. That wasn't even, I mean, some of the results in there, if you look closely at the graph, I mean, you're talking a couple of 3 of those knots actually broke well over 100% of the line strength. Incredible. Just adding Lipsil, amazing. Anyway, check that video out. Yeah, line to line connections, going to be checking them out. I'm going to do a little bit of a pre-line to line connections. You'll see what I mean when I bring the video out. Looking forward to doing that. Just sort of getting the grounding, like getting the root work done for line to line connections. You know, there's a lot of these knots within the line to line connections which make up the main structure of the knot, and it's very easy for those to get confused. People might look at a video and go, oh yeah, that's how you do it, but actually it's slightly different because there's a few variations or iterations to all these different stopper knots, I call them, and you get many different variations of these stopper knots, and they all play such a key role in line to line connections. Anyway, I'm going to stop there. Thanks for staying on this evening. Great having you along. San Diego Jam Knot. Check it out. Check out our overview as well. There might be some interesting stuff in there you might enjoy watching. And yeah, tight lines, and yeah, let us know how you're getting on with the knots, which ones you're enjoying. Take care. All the best, guys.